And just overall, like 496 just doesn't seem the same anymore since day one. Like very flustered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have a Nyx Assassin in the game, but you put your Batrider 1. Seems very high risk.
Yeah. I'm super surprised they didn't actually ban a Nyx Assassin after picking a Batrider. You had 3 bans. You chose not to ban Nyx at all. It's gonna be a big problem for them, I think. Okay, we'll have to see how the lanes play out. AM already taking a lot of Harris damage.
Yeah, how does that matchup work for the AM? You don't really see anti-mage over mid, but you know, it's going to be nice to see him getting soul experience. Maybe if he can lane well enough, some decent farm.
Denied!
So it can work if he gets rotations. But if it is a pure 1v1, come level 3, he's gonna have the pull, the vortex, plus the remnant. With the right click, there's too much damage that comes out. Level 1 and 2, AM is quite okay. But the higher the levels go, the riskier it gets for AM in the lane. But of course, level 6, there's an AM power spike, where there is a possibility.
Are you just trying to stay close to Karl, where it makes it hard for him to sustain his mana?
Yeah. But at some point, it's just too much damage. Once he reaches level 3 with the vortex and remnant, there's just too much damage coming out. Did a very good job at burning most of his mana already, though. And of course, Oracle, hard counter the Batrider. They don't even mind that the Batrider is matching up the Monkey King. You know? Done. Yep.
For playing aggressive, he was going after red as much as possible. Who's on this Nature's Prophet. We've seen Prophet lineups kind of go off. Really dependent on the timings that we see from these Nature's Prophets. Because, you know, they're looking for the Orchid, potentially, and moving around the map with that Orchid, from what we've seen in the past, it's been pretty disruptive.
Yeah, could be very impactful this game as well, against Storm Spirit as well as PL. We'll have to see whether he goes Manta first or Diffusal. I'm expecting the more offensive route. But you know, a lot of PLs, when they play against Silence, they do opt to go for Manta first, then to the Diffusal, which is his choice right now, but maybe it will change as the game progresses.
I guess that's something also to kind of think about as you feel out your upper lane. If the lane's going really well, then maybe you can opt to go for Diffusal, right? Yeah. But if you feel like you're falling behind, maybe get that Manta, play a little bit more conservative. You know there's going to be coming in. Back up, get a Manta. Yeah, I'm a little bit more concerned about the Monkey King, because he will have to be the front line. PL gets very farmed. So he will have to have a good early game, which right now is looking like he does. He wants to itemize for a lot of early game items, maybe even the Witchblade into BKB or something like that. But of course, this Batrider lane doesn't pose too much of a threat when you have an Oracle there. It's not. Oh, hold on, Karl. Getting chased. Hustla, Hung. Both there. First blood for Hustla, taking out Karl.
As I said, rotations. I played this matchup a lot back then when I still played with Ice and Faceless. We pretty much always picked AM into Storm mid, and we would just rotate on him permanently over and over and over again. At some point, you just have such a big lead that you actually have to retreat to the jungle as a Storm. So one more kill could just lead to that, you know? He's already behind the CS. Now he died. He's gonna have a tough time.
You know, you're saying the Monkey King has to frontline, but if Oracle could get to a quicker 6, heal is bad, right? Because then you've got the false promise to back you up. You don't have to leave the Phantom Lancer to just farm those items, get towards where he wants to be impactful.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of opportunity for outplay for the Radiant side. Now has the Ring of Health already up. Very early.
Take the wind from their sails.
Pretty sure he's got the full Perseverance.
No. I think he just didn't queue up the whole Battle Fury. You wouldn't want to build Perseverance if you rush Battle Fury. You always want to have the damage component, so you farm faster. Maybe even a casual Glove of Haste.
Yeah, you must be right, because I swore I saw it all queued up, but I don't know.
That would be a very huge
That would be
then.
really fast, right?
Yeah.
I was like, the timings just don't work on that.
Let's check the network real quick. Nah, network doesn't check out.
Yeah. I was like, that was really fast. Sun comes out on the Oracle.
Yep. Very fast. Bounty room battle.
Look at the kill on Bombi. They chased.
Level 3 Oracle, a lot of damage potential, of course.
2 in Purifying Flames is always heavily felt.
So mid lane is somewhat even at this point. probably slight lead to the AM, but the PL is pulling far away from the Prophet. Monkey King is also out CSing the Batrider. So mid lane is going well, thanks to the rotations, but the side lanes are struggling. I'm expecting Earth Spirit to make rotation top soonish. But now
He's mid right now because the anti-mage is level 6.
yeah, that mana wave can deal a lot of damage.
Go for Oracle. There's the TP in from Red. It's a TP in, and maybe they're looking to take out a tower to slow this lane down, but that's not getting a kill for Red. We'll see if they can find +1. Boundless Strike. Nicely played. Boulder Smash comes in, though. Kuku in trouble and eventually falls to that.
Yeah, it's exactly what they needed. 4-man rotation top.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They're
Pretty
quite
fine.
aggressive. Gonna have blink for a couple seconds, but turns on Xepher.
Oh, sweet.
496 is an interesting team. They like to play the carries mid. So I guess it makes sense that he gets the more aggressive heroes, whereas the mid laner is more of a greedy guy.
Radiant's top
Well,
tower
that's similar
is
to
under
Shout.
attack.
He was playing safe lane for LGD, but he had played safe lane
Dire's bottom tower
when he
is under
started.
attack.
Datbb ever
No.
played
Dire
carry before?
structures
No, he has been, from what I know at least, he has been an offlaner through and through. And he's playing that way too, you know. He's pretty selfless in games. He doesn't really like to farm.
The Storm at the Impale, Bombi.
Mana Void though. Gotta be careful.
A lot of mana on Xepher.
Yeah, potentially if you cast it on a Storm, you can block the Storm and the
Dire's
Nyx.
middle tower
He
is
has
under
3
attack.
mangoes on the Nyx though, so.
So ready, just in case.
Yeah.
Anti-Mage shows up, he'll pop those mangoes.
196 doing relatively well here.
Yeah, they're holding their own so far, but that being said, Phantom Lancer top of the net worth, he has been untouched, and we've seen plenty of games today where if you leave the carry to just do his own thing, he comes out eventually ready to go.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, PL is definitely a carry that can take over the game, given enough space, and right now he has complete free farm. He went for the Yasha first. Sometimes you just go into Yasha, into the Fusel, into Manta. Other times you just go right into Manta to see what route he's gonna take. Buffett, of course, queuing up the Orchid against the Storm. Batrider picking bottom. Envision though.
Yeah,
Interesting
so
choice.
JaCkky able to get back, and now they're really trying to go, but he's already
Dire's
retreating
bottom tower
completely.
is under attack.
However, 2 more heroes here for the Dire side. Doppelganger on the one, stun hits, and now they're going to drain that mana and try to get this kill to Fortune's End from Whitemon. Sprout around the Phantom Lancer. Everything getting thrown at JaCkky. They still don't have the kill just yet. He runs away. Phantom Lancer shield, but gonna grip the stun short. They don't kill off this Phantom Lancer, and they lose Datbb and Bombi in the process.
I'm not quite sure what they were expecting. It was quite close, but Batrider did have a last. They felt so forced, you know. They felt really, really
they
forced.
realized they weren't touching the Phantom Lancer and made a move, but came up way short.
And now they're in even more trouble than they were before. Storm, very good recovery now, on par with AM, was behind 500 before.
Yeah.
And a quick Orchid on Storm can really ruin an AM's game.
Especially with how slow Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, Prophet is struggling a lot. Like Prophet, you wanna win your lane, always.
Yeah.
It's not a hero that plays well from behind, in my opinion.
1k lead right now for T1.
Yeah.
I think he shows up again.
Final Lasso? Still doesn't have it. He didn't skill it.
Fortune's End. Phantom Lancer in with the Monkey King. Datbb dead again.
Can't... I'm not sure what he is planning doing right now, but he needs to farm up some items, you know? Both the... Like, AM is not a hero that can 1v5. He needs to have a team that have, you know, like disables for him or ways to keep enemies in place. But right now, they're all struggling out of the thing.
Here I am.
Lightning stun is already used. They're locked on the Lion, and the stun comes in. The mana void is used. Karl's dead. Anti-Mage shows up again. The Lion is saved, and they'll get 2 of their own.
Not the bet you gotta
Yeah,
worry
a little bit too
about.
deep again.
Fruit.
Feels like both teams are just getting baited into the forced place right now. It was not necessary, you know, you don't need to jump into the 1 tower for line kill.
Especially probably not having vision of where the anti-mage is, and he had just was showing mid before that, right?
Yeah, a very aggressive plays coming out. 10 gold for Boots of Travel on Batrider. Relatively okay timing. Could have had it much earlier if he prioritized his own game a little bit more. From Earth Spirit was very well done. And 600 gold until his Battle Fury. We're looking at like a minute 12 Battle Fury. Not shabby at all.
Dire are
He's
scanning.
holding a Keen Optic right now. Not the best neutral item for an AM, but I'm sure he'll be looking to swap that out eventually. Game is just slowing down a little bit. Both teams just trying to farm up the core items. Storm needs his Orchid. Prophet needs his. Batrider itemizing into a
Dire's
Blink.
top
Oh,
tower
Nyx
is
Assassin
under
scouting
attack.
out the Batrider here, but Vendetta almost running out. Chance.
Needs to retreat.
Yep.
50 seconds
Dire's
till it's
middle
back
tower
up, and I
is
believe
under
that
attack.
ward that just ran out spotted him. Even so far,
Yep.
Storm has one Oblivion staff looking for the other, trying to get that Orchid quickly as he can. Anti-Mage close to the Battle Fury. Not a bad timing. Not
Both
bad at all.
supports smoked up. Both supports level 6 as well, just trying to find any kill they can. They're going with the Oracle.
And they miss it. Still though, Geomagnetic grab the TP in. There's the finger red, an unnecessary addition. He wanted to be there potentially for the kill.
Yeah, he's in a couple of those TPs that were not needed.
Yeah,
He's slowing down his own game like quite a bit.
because he's late. He's late to getting there, right?
Yeah. Storm, about 1,000 more gold for the
Radiant's
Orchid.
bottom tower is under attack.
Man, Fury already.
Almost suicide.
And they have a couple stacks here for the anti-mage.
Yeah, ancient stack. Maybe looking to stack it one more time. He's still holding on to the Keen Optic.
Dire structures
Yeah,
are
oddly enough.
fortified.
Well, he has a Jelly. Are they missing one item?
I've got everything. Fairy's Trinket, Ocean Heart.
Ocean Heart is so much better on him. Like, give
Yeah,
it to your
Ocean Heart's
anti-mage,
on
please.
Nature's Prophet right now.
Yeah, it should definitely be on the anti-mage. I don't know why Prophet is holding
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
that. Interesting. Storm to ping bottom. Wants to catch the Batrider.
Oh.
Oh.
I think they're thinking about it with the Spike Carapace, but no jump. I think that's a little far for them to go.
Yeah, Earth Spirit was also there to back up the Batrider.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
This is just leaving space for Anti-Mage just to continue farming with this Battle Fury.
Yeah, but PL, of course, still 1,200 net overhead. He's very massive. About 500 gold off his Diffusal Blade, which is his power spike. They're probably going to look into fighting after that.
Radiant's
Should
middle
align
tower is under
well
attack.
in time with the Orchid on Storm as well. So all their core items coming online at the same time.
Back off this tower, which Red TP'd into. Flame Break into the lasso, Geomagnetic Grip. They've got the Silence on a white line trying to
Radiant's
survive.
bottom tower
Has
is
false promise.
Dire's middle
He'll
tower is
hold
under
it.
attack.
He knew he was dead to rights. The rest of the team not rotating over. So no reason to pop it and lose it.
Yeah, they want to trade for the top tower here. Well, I say trade. Dire already destroyed the bottom tower. They just want to push top.
Dire's
And
top
there shouldn't be
tower
too much
is
of a
under
defense coming
attack.
out here. AM, of course, is going to farm. No lasso. Prophet is kind of weak still. Needs another 500 gold to finish his Orchid. And then it just really depends on the first.
Magnetized down. Boulder Smash, Geomagnetic Grip. That hits the Oracle with a false promise.
Radiant's
Just
middle
in
tower
time.
is under
Balance
attack.
Strike is in. They get the kill on a Hustla. They'll try to turn this break as well as the stun. Wukong's command hexed up, but Bombi on the run and dead. Two heroes gone on 496.
Dire's
This
top
Geomagnetic
tower
Grip was
is under
almost enough. Just in the nick of time, he gets that false promise off. It's a good thing he didn't use it on himself just early.
Yeah, it was a very, very close call here. I think it's like 10, 15 health. And of course, one boundless strike, the Jingo up under Oracle's false promise, instant full health. We have to see now what the Storm can make happen with this Orchid, as well as the Prophet. They're both going to have it at roughly the same time.
It feels like they're playing aggressive with the Monkey King already.
Dire
I know he
are
doesn't really have a
scanning.
lot, and he's still trying to go into the Witchblade, but he's down there trying to make things happen. So maybe you could play the Storm Monkey and zip in,
Tis
Orchid,
my
Balance
point.
Strike, try to you know, line it up with vision for the Nyx Assassin inside the Vendetta.
Yeah. Invisible on the Batrider here.
Wicked on the Lion. Vortex on the Batrider. They've stunned up this Monkey King. They've got the Flame Break as well as the stun, the Geomagnetic Grip again. Silencing up too. Don't have the false promise this time around. He's still going to cool down for 43 seconds. They've got his FPV with the ball lightning coming in from the storm, but he doesn't have a lot of mana to play with. Whitemon, he's dead too. 2 heroes gone on the side of T1. 496, potentially looking for more opportunities. Sending a couple of illusions their way. The Nyx Assassin is going to go for the flame break hits on to JaCky as well as Xepher, but they get a kill on a Bombi. The look over is now the silence is on the first. Running away is this Vanomancer, and the ulti was used by Hung. It's not going to matter. They've got the lasso. They'll get the kill. They'll take out JaCky. Vanomancer gone. And this is all off T1's own aggression.
Yeah, they did not have a sentry ward down, so Storm jumped on the line. Then Batrider came out of the invis. He was panicking. Then he pulled the Batrider instead of the Lion, so they couldn't kill the Lion in time. It was a very messy fight by the Radiant, and PL ends up dying while AM does not. So that means as soon as PL is up, they're probably around even net worth. Very good news for 496 fans.
Lightning all the way down. Orky, but here comes the three-man Ravage.
They just can't make any plays happen right now. T1 getting outplayed quite a bit here.
Yeah.
496.
And it's surprising how this is going too, because it felt like the lanes for T1 were very effective.
They were. They came out of the lanes quite well, especially considering they had a Nature's Prophet. But now Prophet has the Orchid. Storm needs to be really scared. PL needs to farm his Diffusal Blade. The thing is, AM is only gonna be weak for another 3-4 minutes.
Still again, Monkey King in trouble every time, and they're gonna get the kill on a Whitemon. I want to harp on something in a second, but Xepher getting rolled on, and now he's in trouble. Spine characters will stun them up for a second, but they've got the Hex coming in from Bombi as well as the stun to follow that up. Again, is that Earth Spike from Bombi that keeps Xepher close. Every time that we're spotting the Monkey King die, you're seeing the Oracle right behind him, and that has caused him to get Geomagnetic gripped. Oh, and you're going to see it right here too. He gets silenced again, and there's no way to save the Monkey.
Yeah, because the cast range is very, very short with level 1 False Promise, and the Herb Spirit is doing an impeccable job at silencing him every time.
Yeah. I mean, it's level 1 big enough, I think, where he could potentially be in a different position than right behind him, because that has been where he's standing the last 3 times, I think, that the Monkey King has died. He just got one off. The first one he got off bottom. He just got the False Promise off. But the last 2, it's the same position he's died. Silence on the Earth Spirit. They've got the Vortex. He comes in for a haste, but pays for it dearly. Bottom lane, though. Now they're trying to kill off the Nyx Assassin on the run. Wukong's Balance Strike. Nyx Assassin survives. They'll take out Bombi. They look over at this Nature's Prophet, who just TPs away. So 2 kills there. 1 mid, 1 bottom.
Yep. Still holding 1k gold lead though. 1k gold away from the Manta style. And then Storm is going to have a real rough time dealing with his anti-mage. You know, they're trying to do the right thing, where I said Monkey King needs to frontline for the team, but they're getting outnumbered every time. I said 2 versus 4, and then they trickle in 1 by 1. But T1 needs to be ready with 4 heroes by them, as well, you know. Like, if you trickle in 1 by 1, you will get torn apart by this Herb Spirit rolling in, multiple impales, Prophet, you know, TPing in and out. You got to be prepared if you want to fight back.
So how do you go about that with the Vanomancer's build, and what are you trying to do with these 3 cores on the side of T1 to fight back?
Well, I mean, as PL gets stronger, he's actually massively out-farming his anti-mage. I'm very surprised by that. That should not be this way, because AIM has been pretty much untouched.
He's going for a heart on this Vanomancer.
Yeah, but of course, like the tankier PL gets, the easier the game gets for T1, because he can be the frontline force. The Monkey King doesn't need to be, you know, in these suicidal positions, because you have Phantom Lancer with a Manta style. He doesn't care about the silences anymore. Like, I don't know what's up with the AM, honestly. I feel like his farming patterns are just not very efficient. But you can tell he's not a carry player, you know, he's a mid player playing the carry role now. And it's always going to be a little bit awkward.
So he's trying to put himself in the shoes of a carry, find those efficiencies, and keep up with the Phantom Lancer, who he's behind by him, down by about 2.
Yeah. Does have his Manta stack completed now though. So he doesn't camera for the storm anymore, who's now itemizing into a good set. You need one. They have too many silences. They leave you very vulnerable to that anti-mage. If you ever initiate on anyone that's not the anti-mage, they might just blow you up. Now smoke up with the Manta style, power spike. Good recognition of that.
They're going up into their jungle. And Nyx Assassin, no Vendetta to work with. Courier coming over for the Oracle, so they know there's heroes here. Group it up for the top lane. Lasso Nyx Assassin. They'll get the kill on the Xepher. Now they'll find the Hex. It's on the Phantom Lancer. They got the stun. They throw the finger. They get the kill on JaCkky. They take out so quickly. The Wukong's command is going to follow this on the Bombi. Lion is dead. Whitemon will follow into the grave. And 3 dead on the side of T1. Not much. 496 can really get more out of that one as Monkey King just gets away.
Yeah, but still massive fight for them. Phantom Lancer gets hexed immediately without casting anything.
Yeah, he's dead almost immediately. That was almost a perfect fight for 496.
Yeah, and T1 is struggling to present the numbers. Again, they were outnumbered. They didn't expect the smoke at all. Also, small mistake by the Nyx Assassin. He had the opportunity to press Carapace, but he just didn't.
Radiant are
Maybe thought he was dead.
He's the one showing not inside the trees on this one.
Yeah, you need to be super careful as PL. Like, how the hero is meant to be played is you come in from the sidelines, you know? Which one's real, which one's fake, you don't know. But if you get hexed on the main one, you just get blown up. This anti-mage's Manta style is very strong now. On his way to the Scary. And how close the gap to the PL?
Yeah, that kill is super important because it keeps Hung close. And he was down by about 2k, now it's just 300.
Yeah. Arcane Rune picked up on Storm. Interesting. How they keep making these lineups work, and sometimes they don't. Like, this 496 team is so unstable. Like, I don't know, like, sometimes they're gods, other times they're just mortals. Like, us.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Do you like this switch, Scotty, or this one? For the anti-mage?
Hold that thought.
They're gonna call again. Oh no, there's a big problem. If they kill the Phantom Lancer again, there's gonna be really touching the end of the game. They got the false promise of keeping him alive. They look over the anti-mage is low on mana. Hung just blinks away with BKB pop by the Nyx Assassin. They're gonna kill the Karl anyway. And by the lose one, got the stun. They're trying to take the Phantom Lancer. They look over it. They've got the lasso out on the PL to catch him. They've caught the PL. Can they get the kill? The doppelganger back in. Looking at the anti-mage. Hung's still on a damage. Trying to vampire this one. Silence here. Not gonna be enough. Hung is dead. JaCkky dies. Bombi's gone. And it's a 2 for 2, where it looked like Phantom Lancer was dead to rights on the side of T1.
Pull roots and run.
Perfect ult by Oracle, keeping him safe. I would have loved if the PL just turned around right away, but he was kind of just walking away, 3 seconds, reassessing the situation, you know. Oh, I'm actually strong enough to fight. If he turned around right away, the aim would have died immediately. His blink was on cooldown, would have burned all his mana. You can see here.
Promise saves him.
And PL running away instead of fighting. This AM should have been dead already.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then he turns up to the fight again, you know, getting a little bit scrappy. And it turns out that both AM and PL kill each other. You know, it's not a good trade because you lose 2 of your main cores, the Storm and the PL. I mean, better than nothing, but not what you were looking for.
It took a lot to kill this Phantom.
Yeah, False Promise is... even one magic one just gives you like 700 health. False Promise is a boss spell.
Meteor Hammer for the Nyx Assassin next.
scanning.
Blink Dagger for Whitemon. He's really trying to get that positioning better. You know, not better, but have options.
Yeah. I mean, you need that Blink Dagger on Oracle. There's so much mobility to work with on the Dire side. You have to be really careful how you approach these fights.
The Blink will make it more accessible. Stay a little bit further back on the starts of that. Blink in, False Promise, maybe blink into a better spot. Options.
Yeah. Prophet now has BKB up, itemizing into a Mjolnir. Now it's really just all about countering the PL, you know. The Storm is going to have a really brutal game already against the Lion, as well as Anti-Mage, so all you need to worry about now is countering the PL, which of course Mjolnir is one of the best choices in the game. If we see a Lion 25 this game, which I don't think we will. He's just standing there with a Shadow Amulet, but I don't know about it. A level 25 Lion can really ruin a PL. With an AoE Hex, you instantly clear all the illusions and you hex the main hero. It's one of the hardest counters to PL in the entire game. But of course, level 25 Lion plus 5 is going to be very hard to achieve this game.
13 levels to go there, Black.
Nothing, yeah, nothing you can really plan for, you know, let's just get our plus 5 Lion to level 25. Game's in the bag. Another smoke up here from Radiant side.
Yeah, they're all smoking up except for the Monkey King, who showed mid.
Hard completed on the PL. He's very, very survivable now, especially if you get false promised. 130 health regen per second, very hard to chew through that.
I'll look for somebody, but they don't have the read.
Yeah, that's been T1's problem all game long, honestly. They're just getting out-read by the 496 side. They have a very good grasp on this game.
Yeah, for sure.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And it's just 496. Obviously, it's not a Techies game. This game just looks so much better for 496 overall. Like,
yeah, it feels like it's not the same players playing, honestly. Yeah. As I said, this team is really, it feels really weird. Like, they're so unstable. They can be so good, and other times they can be so bad. It's just something you have to work out, you know? Because instability is what causes you these kind of tournaments. I mean, what loses you these kind of tournaments.
What, at the end of the day, could cause you to get relegated.
Yeah. Instability is the bane of every aspiring tier 1 team. Oh, they're still setting up all 5 top. Storm is still showing bottom. If they grab this PL. Very scary. Oh, they're just rolling in. Here's clearing the lane. But they thought it's a real one.
They all showed. Now,
they're so timid on the Radiant side. There was no Manta Spell and AM, one off of his death. But of course, Storm is still pushing up bottom. Yeah, I would like them to punish these mistakes from 496 a bit more. You know, they're overly aggressive and you have to punish them for it.
Yeah. I like this idea, though, from the Storm, because he was going into the Bloodstone. I really just think this is the choice to go for the home.
You need a link against aim. Otherwise your team is just, you know, you're taking time bomb for them. Monkey King, 600 off his BKB. Once he has that, he's going to be much more impactful in the fight as well. Even now, I don't think aim really fights the monkey after his BKB. You can't fight him in the ring. Almost a Abyssal Blade up though, 800 gold.
Then spider legs.
Yep.
Two solid.
I'm still conflicted. The Psychic Headband, it feels so lackluster. I don't know. Never seen it do a lot of work, you know? Maybe people just forget to use it or something, but never really feels impactful. They're going in for Roshan. Their Roshan is pretty slow. They're probably going to need about 30-40 seconds. But Dire is not aware at all. Most of they're really good read on the game.
This is...
No, they're expecting it now.
Half done. Coming top, but are they expecting it?
They're all around the area. Firefly activated. Yeah, they know.
Break, and that's got to be, you need to eject from this one. You're just not doing it quick enough.
Radiant's bottom
you have to be really careful here. Yeah.
Radiant's bottom
Illusions, now Doppelganger. Hey.
This is so intense. It feels like so many games now just come down to a stare off at Roshan, which is all hacked on the second.
Yeah, they've got the hex. You're going down, pound the strike with the down home. Go outside the circle, the roll away, but they've got the orchid on the anti-mage. Red, drop like flies. Karl gets a double kill.
Yeah, Prophet did not press his BKB. Anti-Mage got caught out without his Manta Style. Got orchid hit, no way out for him, and out to free Roshan for the Radiant side. They weren't ready. Batrider had no Firefly. They were just initiated without him.
No buybacks on these heroes. That means
Radiant's bottom
is T1.
So here's the problem.
Oh,
careful.
Lincoln's Boundless Strike coming in, and Bombi survives.
Yep. Had a sentry reward right there too. Glimmer Cape did nothing. This is a problem if you itemize right into an Abyssal Blade. You're just lacking damage. 140 plus 45. You're hitting like a support. You know, like you deal no damage. Not a big fan of the item build. I feel like Skadi would have been so much better.
This'll come in
Picked
handy.
up.
Death and good.
He's getting closer to that Abyssal Blade. This could be a big problem. He's so farmed.
Yeah, PL is reaching the point where he's unstoppable. Lasso.
That's the Monkey King that got right here to try and help Kuku. Pops the BKB, goes for the TP out, and just make.
Just TP. Forehead. It was a very early lasso.
Yeah.
If they want a kill, they need to hold up on the lasso. Next assassin, stalking. Oh, he ran into the shrine vision. Typical mistake. Happens to a lot of players actually, that they just walk into the true side vision of the shrine, not thinking about it, you know? It's very tricky sometimes.
It's something that people forget exists.
Yeah, it's very easy to forget. Especially because it's like on the low ground, or it can only see high ground, you know? It's not the case. Trying to set up for the Nature's Prophet bottom here. Spawn to ping in. There's a line back in.
Of both these teams.
Yeah, and they decide to disengage. Good decision.
Wisely disengaging too. I think that would have been,
It would have been rough.
yeah, potentially disastrous.
Yeah. I feel like the pause, you know, might have helped them a little bit with that.
Look at that Red trying to play aggressive himself. They've also got Bombi inside the trees.
Yeah, Bombi the lion. He has the Philosopher's Stone. I would really love to see a blink on him or an Adeline, just so he gets the range and the initiation. He'll need it late game. And the 25 coming closer, baby. Level 15 almost.
10 levels to go.
PL sitting at 22, aim as well. It just feels like aim is so weak compared to the PL when you look at these team fights.
Now that Storm's got this Lincolns, he can play a little bit more confident.
Yeah, he's going to the BKB next as well. Going pure defense. 3 defensive items.
I think that's fine.
It is
Against
fine.
this lineup.
It just feels like it might be a little bit too much, you know? Instead of the Lincolns, maybe you want to go BKB and then a Hex. Because like 3 defensive items might be a little too much.
Right. JaCkky taking care of this tier 2 top.
Yep, netting him his E-Blade. I mean, his Abyssal Blade as well. Storm, jumping the bottom, and out again.
Dire's top tower
Great hero.
has fallen.
So, picks up that gold, getting closer and closer to the Abyssal Blade.
Yep, 200 more gold. Still has the Aegis as well. They can't take a 5-5 engagement if this PL is on the front line. There's no way. They need to kill the Oracle first. Next assassin needs to die as well. He's too annoying. They need to jump the backline somehow. Anti-Mage going for Butterfly. Now seeing that, PL should be queuing up the MKB immediately. Maybe even a Rapier if he feels really confident.
Well, he's only seen the Talisman, right? So, obviously your first assumption is going to be the Butterfly.
Yeah.
Is it worth turning it into any?
I mean, you could go Halberd, but it's not really a good item because you will need to be the one dealing the damage. You know, you could say like maybe he's baiting with the Talisman, you know, but he doesn't need to buy the MKB right away. You just need to have the idea, the thought of going for the MKB, you
Radiant's
know?
bottom tower
Maybe
is
even
under
Bloodthorn.
attack.
Abyssal Bloodthorn is a very potent combo.
If you can get the Bloodthorn Storm. Cash.
Yeah, possible too. Okay, Storm not going BKB, very happy
Going
about that.
Axe.
Could be
Big
a deadly
difference.
combo. Yeah.
Very offensive.
Dire's
Yeah, you
bottom
pull
tower
2-3
is
heroes,
under
they get
attack.
impaled or bounty struck. Can be a huge
Dire's
setup for
bottom
a good
tower
combo.
has fallen.
Both teams just kind of avoiding each other. T1 definitely wants to take the fight, but they want to take it on their terms.
Yeah.
The LP to mid lane. Ancients. So they're not looking to really force anything with Aegis, huh? Farming Aegis. Interesting, because I thought they could take the fight to the Dire side.
Maybe just the timings. It's close. They don't want to risk anything at the moment.
Fair enough, fair enough. Smoke up on Dire side. As I said, they need to jump the backline first. Supports into die.
Just expires. Claimed. Got the stun on a JaCkky, and now the Abyssal Blade. They're not going to do a lot of damage, but finally the finger comes in as well as the Mana Void. Datbb Hung gets a double kill. A 1-2. punch from 496 really quick. Oh my god.
Completely caught out of position here from the PL. Maybe he didn't know the Aegis timer. As soon as it ran out, 496 was right on top of him instantly, giving him no chance at all.
Tis mine.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Doing
attack.
most damage.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Right, that's also all here.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
BKB Wukongs, no silence, and the kill on a Whitemon.
Yep, T1 falling a little bit apart here. Losing a Phantom Lancer like that. I don't like how they used that Aegis. I feel they should have been much more offensive.
And they had the opportunity to be offensive, and then it felt like they were in line with the game being in their hands. But the focus on the Phantom Lancer when he's there with not much health is a big issue.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower
Again,
is
Hex
under
is one of
attack.
the strongest spells in Dota. If you get Hexed, you can literally not do anything about it. You need your team to bail you out. And of course, he was there by himself. Nixus doesn't count too much for you.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
It feels a little bit like they're disconnected in this game 2 here, T1.
Potentially.
You know, it feels like a lot of these SDA teams fall into very similar patterns where like suddenly they're just, you know, like very individualistic.
So it's not, it falls apart from being a team game and more of a me game.
Yeah, more like a single player RPG kind of thing. I think the only team that didn't happen to so far is Fnatic, who has comfortably sitting at the top. Of course, Neon as well. They had a couple of rough games, but overall, a very strong team. T1 still sitting at 0-1 and struggling here against 196.
Neon only losing 2 games. They're 6-2 so far.
Yep.
It's at top of the table.
Fnatic is 2-0, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yet to drop a game.
4-0. Very strong performance.
So 7k lead for 496, but this could immediately turn around with one fight.
Yeah, but now the AM has this huge timing where this PL does not have an MKB. And he has the butterfly up.
And he's about to hit 5. So can avoid cooldown or
Hoping to see the mana ward cooldown always against the Storm.
20 seconds.
That's huge cooldown again.
Strong.
It
I was
is
gonna say
nuts.
broken. I try not to use that.
I also like it simply because it goes well with the cooldowns of Abyssal Blade and Manta Style. All 3 very short cooldown. Can repeatedly blow up heroes. Now they're smoking up.
Radiant's bottom
Feeling
tower
they have a
is
good
under
opportunity to
attack.
be aggressive.
Bottom right now is Bombi.
Lion has Blink Dagger now.
He was so far away from that. It felt.
And
Blink, stun, and the kill onto Bombi. Karl's dominating, so it's definitely been a while since he died. And, you know, he was definitely, you know, having this hard game.
Roshan is up. 40 seconds, probably not enough. They don't really have a lot of Roshan damage on the Radiant side here. Storm, Spell Prism, and Timeless Relic. Now who gets what?
He's holding it right now. I think he's thinking between that and the Orb of Destruction, sends the Spell Prism back.
I feel like... Who's gonna take the Spell Prism then? Storm? Storm took it.
Yeah, he's got it.
So Timeless Relic on the Nyx Assassin then, for the stun duration.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Okay. I would have liked to see the Spell Prism on the PL perhaps. For the cooldown reduction.
Double damage.
For
Radiant
2,000
are
gold
scanning.
save.
Man, this shard of Prophet is so annoying. These 2 Treants are so strong. These 2 greater Treants. 1650 health.
Hit for 108.
Yeah. They push out lane so fast.
Looking over, Vortex is the Earthspear. BKB been popped by JaCkky. Also, he's got a BKB of his own as well as Spiderlegs to get into the high ground. Now, the BKBs have been popped. They focus on Roach. Lion's Courier is in there, so he knows that this is going.
They need to be careful here. I'm waiting for the Roshan to be a huge problem. They're getting 2 lanes pushed in.
Yeah, mid pushing
Radiant's
in,
bottom
stopped by
tower
creeps
is
for
under
a second.
attack.
Ball lightning all the way in. Ooh, Karl, yeah, this is what I was expecting. They go in with the Abyssal Blade, but Hung now on the run. Caught with the dual meteor hammers and lined up. No, it's not. But they're still going to lose this
Radiant's
2-3,
bottom
and now they
tower
didn't even get Roche. Dire's in the Roche pit. You'll switch a room.
They're getting outplayed hard right now.
Yeah.
And they're not going to be in time. Roshan's going to go to Dire. Cheese, Aegis.
But he's able to make it. So,
Huge outplay.
an outplay by 496, drawing them bottom and immediately going into Roche themselves.
That's textbook split pushing. Really textbook. Forcing a reaction from the enemy and then capitalizing on the reaction. And they did it super quickly too. They didn't even think about it, you know?
Onto Bombi.
Poor guy.
Also has to pop his BKB again. This is already a 7-second BKB. I was going to say, Old Alliance definitely enjoying the red. The stun though, they've got the Vortex. Anti-Mage, no mana. He's gone.
That's the Aegis ball. Yep. Bombi lying back,
Vortex down for 4 seconds. Meteor Hammer trying to run it up, and they got Battle Strike to go. Luton's man around blink away. The Hex onto the Nyx Assassin. Red from outside the circle. JaCkky moving forward. Stun comes in. That's from Bombi onto Xepher. They got to go to Whitemon, but without the Oracle. And now they go over. Phantom Lancer gets the kill on Bombi. Bombi get for 90 seconds. Hustla out of mana now. Gets run down by JaCkky again. Hustla nowhere for him to go. He can't roll away. Red trying to do as much damage as he can. Datbb is only just watching. Hung, he's looking to join in on the fray. They've got Kuku comes over. Balance right coming through. Hung out of mana. Now the problem. JaCkky with the lasso on it. He's pulled away from the anti-mage. Killed off. Down goes Kuku. 4 heroes dead on the side of T1. It was close. They almost got the anti-mage again. They got him out of mana, but they just couldn't take his life away.
Huge turnaround there by the Dire. Batrider got out of the fight with like 100 health. Still had the lasso off cooldown, which ultimately turned the fight around for the Phantom Lancer. I mean, we can see the replay here. Huge
Life is
commitment.
gone immediately.
Yeah, huge commitment on the anti-mage.
And then
He just has the butterfly, they don't have damage through it. Now we can see the Batrider getting out with like 100 health.
Double damage.
and look at Hung. Blinks away, and they just don't stick with him.
Yep.
Magnetize. Xepher dead quickly. Whitemon. He was gone fast too. Never was able to get a false promise off. But Bombi, Hustla, they follow suit into the grave.
Yeah, you can just see the damage problems. Like, he needed an MKB earlier, he queued it up now, but it's still gonna be quite a while if he has it.
Look at this bottom there, just going in through this bottom set of racks. Meteor Hammer hits on the anti-mage. Do they have anything here to follow this up? No, because Phantom Lancer's holding the buyback. Now the blink hit deep with the Abyssal Blade used on Whitemon to take out the Oracle and take out the bottom set of racks. Hung now dominating.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Anti-mage, $6 at this point.
Radiant's middle tower
One of his
is under
unique
attack.
timings, of course. Profit not far behind. Also 6 slotted.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Catch up, buyback used by the Oracle. KB looking for the Wukong. Finally falls down goes Hung. BKB from Datbb. Can anybody stop this TP? No, they can't. Red, he hides in the trees. Hustla rolls away. And Anti-Mage does not have buyback for 90 seconds.
Yeah, Bloodthorn reveal. Butterfly obviously does nothing against that. And Monkey King and Storm kill him pretty much just with the 2 of them. And Bloodthorn is such a tank killer, you know?
Dire's
Crit
middle
damage
tower
is
is
brutal.
under attack.
True Strike, of course, also. And yeah, as you said, 60 seconds, no buyback. Huge timing for T1 here. Any additional pickoff could potentially seal this game. Probably trade for the mid-rexes.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Down 11k. Going on at the high
Dire's
ground.
middle tower is under attack.
Gonna take this tier 3 tower and potentially set a racks of their own. They look over, throw these illusions onto Red, take the tier 3, 45 seconds. At this point, they gotta think that the anti-mage does not have buyback. He is yet to buy back and probably giving them some sort of comfortable feeling in the racks. They go with the Electric Vortex, they've got the silence onto the Naval Prophet, and look at BKB is going to be caught by Datbb. False Promise just in time to save the Storm Spirit. He's getting really low, he's in trouble, gets away, just barely ball lightning out. TP from Karl, is it in time? Just for one? No! He's dead from Bombi, and down goes JaCkky.
Got caught out in the tier 4 towers with the PL. Karl jumping in, getting what I think impaled. What happened to the storm there? I couldn't quite catch it.
I swore he TP'd out. I didn't quite see it.
He, at the very end, he TP'd out under the false promise, but it was too late. He took too much damage.
Yeah.
But what happened there? How did he get stuck under the tier 4 towers? He wanted to initiate himself, I
Yeah, he
believe.
blind, he did.
Must have gotten in there.
Yeah. I thought he had healed up enough. The Oracle was trying to do everything he could to keep him alive.
Display.
Now stuck, hit with the Abyssal. He's gone. Buyback available on all 3 cores. I guess just the heals weren't enough from the
He didn't even manage to heal him at all. Buyback heal from PL and Monkey King. This is AM dies.
Immediately, both these heroes dead, only one has buyback.
Not what they wanted though. They wanted to go on the AM, surprise him. If AM dies, this game could very well be over. But the way it is right now, I have a lot of winning conditions on the Dire side.
Mage pulling this game back for 496, where it felt for a second it's ready for a buyback. But still short 12 gold.
12 gold is a lot of gold. He's going to BKB next. Do I like that? It's alright. I rather save the buyback though. I don't want to buy out the BKB. Roche not going to be up for a while. It really just comes down to who gets the initiation first. If there's a good lasso, Dire is going to win. If there's a good vortex, Radiant is going to win.
Yeah, that vortex hitting both the line as well as the Nature's Prophet. They're dead immediately after.
All 3 cores on Radiant, no buyback. If any of them dies, I could just seal the deal. 21k gold lead. And Lion, we were joking about it, is getting very close to the 25.
Yeah,
It's at 22 now. Yeah. One more tome, one more team fight.
Levels away, 10 levels away, 3 levels now. Close. Anti-Mage is actually really close. You know, 28, 30.
Yeah,
is a
just
lot of
about
experience.
15,000 XP, but no problem. Pick off.
Magic is an abomination. Live by the wand.
Just
shall
ready.
die by my blade.
Good pick, good pick. This is how you tear them apart. One by one.
Look at this graph. Up
Yeah.
and down constantly.
It's been mostly 496. They had a period where they were struggling.
Yeah.
But the early game, they played really, really well. This team is so weird, man. Every time I think they have no chance, they suddenly just blow it out of the park with the draft. It shouldn't really give them a lead, you know? They just managed to make it work somehow.
So what's the way back in for T1? Just catching the initiation.
The initiation is everything. This AM is not tanky because PL has MKB now. He can kill the AM in 5 seconds, 4 seconds even. Like one stun. But at the same time, if they lasso that PL, he can also die in seconds. Late game Dota, there's so much damage involved. Whoever gets to jump first wins.
Do you like the... Do you like the 25 talent for the Storm, the 2x overload attack bounce?
Oh, he took that?
Yeah.
But he's not going for the shard.
Haste.
Interesting. I'm a big fan of the Ball Lightning auto remnant. Like, it's just super strong.
Especially against the game.
Yeah, it can win you games single-handedly.
Radiant are
But,
scanning.
you know, the overload bounce, potentially, if you get that shard, you know, you buff up your entire team. We have, like, I've seen a paparazzi video where an entire team died in a matter of seconds. I believe half a second even.
He was so... Like, I think he was not expecting that much damage, and he just started giggling.
I don't think anybody was. The entire team just died.
Yeah, they melted so fast. And I think he just uses it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Close. Yeah, on
They
the
are
hunt here.
chasing. They're behind. Did Kuku catch that? Because they get the cone red. They take the nation profit from behind them. Now, Fox comes in. He's got Datbb as well. Now it's not a lot of mana against down on the earth as well as the anti-mage. They get the code with the finger coming out of the bar. Whitemon got as well. Without buyback as they're trying to fight. JaCkky, can you get anything out of this? He moves over Doppelganger looking for some space. Tries to act like an illusion, but he ends up getting hexed up. He's going to be dead, and this game's going to be over as this will be T1 without buybacks, and GG is called. 496, they even the series. T1 just can't pull it back enough. And 496, they flip the coin and look a much better team.
Yep, it was an amazing executed team fight by T1, but you can just see the power of the fight. All 3 cores and 1 support, all 4 have